Adding decimals. When adding decimals, you put the highest number on top and the lowest number on the bottom. Then you add as many zeros as necessary to equal to the number on the bottom. Line up the decimal point and you'll get your answer. Do not put the zero right under the row. You have to line up the decimal point or else you just won't know where to put it. So remember, add as many zeros as needed to properly line up the decimal point. Subtracting decimals. When subtracting decimals, you have to line up the decimal point and add as many zeros as necessary to equal to the number on the bottom. You do not want to just line it up naturally, otherwise you won't get your accurate answer. You also, when finding a negative number, do not want to put the negative on the bottom. Instead, you'll put the higher number on top and carry the negative down. Remember to carry the negative over to the answer. Multiplying decimals. When multiplying decimals, you still have to line up the decimal point. But instead of keep carrying it over, you will have to count how many decimal spaces are on the right side. Add those up, and then you'll get your answer. So for here, it's 2.4 and 5.3. 0.4 and 0.3, that's two decimal spots in two different numbers. So you carry the answer over to the left twice to make 1.13. Rounding decimals to the nearest tenth, hundredth, and whole number. When rounding decimals, if a number is below a 5, then it stays the same. But if it is a 5 or higher, then it rounds up to the next nearest number. When rounding to the nearest tenth, you want to take the hundredth number, or the 7 in this case, and round it up to the 4. When rounding to the nearest hundredth, you take the 8 that's already there in 0.678, and you will create 1.68. You do not want to carry it over as 1.6845 and say the 5 turns the 4 into a 5 and turns the 8 into a 9. Instead, you will just want to equal to the nearest whole number. So 7 will create the 9 into a 10. You carry the number over and it becomes a 2. Dividing decimals. In order to divide decimals, you will need the number or the decimal outside of the division to be a whole number. So instead of 0.15, you will need to carry the decimal over to the right 2 times to create 15. This will also affect the number that you are dividing. The decimal point will move over 2 times as well. Then you solve as you normally would. You do not carry the decimal point back 2 spaces. Instead, that would just be your answer. Remember to not move the decimal point in the answer.